The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
All right, hello everyone, and welcome to the Chalk and Wire What's New webinar. I think we'll be having some attendees just slowly coming into the call. So we'll just wait a second here to start this up. All right, and I do see that all the attendees who are currently connecting have connected, and so I will be starting the webinar now. And so if anybody wasn't here when I said it before, hello everyone, and welcome to Chalk and Wire's What's New webinar. This webinar will provide you with an overview of the enhancements made to the main menu, portfolio editing, and assessment, which were released to you on August 10th, 2018. My name is Philip Dorrington, and I am a support consultant for Chalk and Wire. If you have any questions after the webinar and would like to contact me, feel free to email cwsupport@campuslabs.com. Now, just before we begin, if you have any questions throughout the webinar, please type them directly into the questions window of your GoToWebinar control panel. I will refer back to them at the end of the webinar as time permits. If your questions are not answered, or if you have any additional questions after the webinar, please feel free to send them to our support desk by email or phone. To reduce the likelihood of audio or visual issues during the webinar, we would recommend that you turn off all other programs or applications that may be running on your computer. If you do encounter any issues hearing me or viewing my screen, please switch to the telephone option in your GoToWebinar control panel and call into the webinar instead of using your computer's microphone and speakers. Leaving the webinar and joining again may also resolve any issues. If you cannot resolve the issues that you are experiencing, we will be posting the recorded version of this webinar on our support documentation site within 24 hours. In today's webinar, you will learn more about the updates we have made to the main menu, portfolio editing, and assessment. I will then provide you with a live demonstration of these features so that we can see how they were impacted by the updates and how the enhancements may benefit your users and/or institution. At the end of the session, we will also answer your questions and provide you with contact information for our support desk so that you may reach out for individualized support. And so let's first take a look at the updates that have been made to the main menu for all user types. The biggest change that all users will notice with this upgrade applies to how they navigate within their own account. The main menu has been reconfigured to provide easier access to the tools that are most often used, as well as to provide more appropriate and intuitive grouping of similar features. All user types will see the addition of new quick links at the top of their menu, a new reporting menu, and a new help menu. For students, the new quick links include access to their My Coursework, My Results, and My Field Placement screens, as these are features used mostly by students. Within the new reporting menu, students will have access to their My Results screen and the tag reporting tool if your institution is using this feature. The help menu allows students to access the user guide, request support from our support team, and review the recently added or enhanced features. For assessors, the new quick links include access to their assessment and field placement screens. Within the new reporting menu, assessors will have access to their student results screen and the tag reporting tool if your institution is using this feature. We have also given assessors access to the results analytics reporting tool, formerly called Results Live. This option is available to assessors in the reporting menu and allows them to generate reports on their own students' assessment results. Just like with students, the help menu allows assessors to access the user guide, request support from our support team, and review the recently added or enhanced features. For administrators, the new quick links include access to the assessment and field placement screens. Within the new reporting menu, administrators will have access to all of the reporting tools in Chalk and Wire. These include My Results, Student Results, Results Analytics, formerly known as Results Live, Inter-Rater Reliability, Tag Reporting, Assessment Time Report, and System Activity Report. Just like with students and assessors, the Help menu allows administrators to access the user guide, request support from our support team, and review the recently added or enhanced features. And so let's now take a look at the updates to portfolio editing and how these enhancements may be beneficial to your institution and users. In addition to the file types that are already accepted in the Chalk and Wire system, users will now have the ability to upload zip files directly to their portfolio pages. Users will have the option to either maintain the zip file format, or they can extract the files directly within the Chalk and Wire system. This will now allow users to upload compressed files, which will be especially useful if the user has to upload an especially large file into Chalk and Wire. This feature will also allow users to bundle their files together, which may be helpful if an assignment requires users to upload many individual files or artifacts. Secondly, the image editor tool has been simplified to only offer zoom, crop, and rotate functions. The new editor maintains the most used functions from our old image editor so that students can continue to perform basic image editing within Chalk and Wire without complicating the editing process. And next, let's take a look at the updates to assessment and how these enhancements may be beneficial to your institution and users. With the most recent upgrade to our assessment tool, we are happy to announce that assessments will now be automatically saved whenever a change is made. This will prevent assessors from losing their work if they forget to click save or if they encounter internet connection issues during assessment. The Changes Save tab at the top right will continue to refresh automatically as you make changes on your assessment so that users are assured that their assessments are being properly saved. Now onto pegging. Prior to this upgrade, if a pegging scheme was applied to a rubric, the assessors were not able to see the criterion performance level descriptions during assessment. This is no longer the case, and assessors can now see these descriptions. This improvement will be beneficial to your institution if you are already using pegging schemes on rubrics, or if you would like to implement the use of pegging schemes in the future. Typically, pegging schemes are used to hide the numeric performance level values on a rubric and instead display a letter or word value to the assessor and student. They are also used to apply different external numeric scores to your internal performance level values used in reporting. Lastly, a new addition has been made to our resubmission request feature, which now allows assessors to make resubmission requests optional for students. Additionally, if the resubmission request is dismissed by the student, or if it is withdrawn by the assessor or admin, the assessment will now be immediately marked as complete so that it is now available for reporting. This feature can be used in situations where a resubmission is not absolutely essential, but the assessor notices that an aspect of the assignment could be improved upon. The student would then have to decide whether they would like to make a resubmission to this assignment or if they would like to decline it. Now we'll now be moving on to the live feature demonstration section of this webinar, where I will be showing the updates to the main menu, portfolio editing, and assessment live in the system. For the first part of this demonstration, I will be showing you the portfolio editing features that were recently updated, and to do so, I will be logging in as a student. In the main menu on the left, and using the new My Coursework quick link, I'm able to quickly get to my portfolios in the site. I will now navigate to an assignment page within my portfolio so that I can show you how to upload zip files into Chalk and Wire. Once on the submission page, the user will select the Add Content button, followed by the Add File given. This will then we'll select the Insert Content Here button, which will then open up an Add Files window with a green Add Files button in the middle. After selecting that button, we'll get a directory for our computer where we can select our zip files. And in this case, I will be uploading 2 different zip files, just so I can show you how it looks to maintain the zip, and then how it looks to extract the files directly in Chalk and Wire. So I'll just select Extract Files, and then hit the Start Uploading All button. And once the files have been saved, I will close out of this Add Files window. And what we can see here are the 3 files that were inside of my Documents zip that have now been extracted to the page, along with my Artifact zip, which has been maintained as a zip file. And now that I've shown you the upgrades to portfolio editing, I will be logging out of my, actually, 1 second, I almost forgot to show you the image editor, which can be accessed via the gear icon just to the left of an image, and then you would select Edit. And now we are able to actually crop the image using the right and the bottom bars here. We can tighten up the picture, and then you can move the picture to focus however you would like. You can then use the bar below to zoom in or zoom out as appropriate. And finally, there is the blue rotate button next to the save button, which will rotate the picture 90 degrees clockwise. And so I will just crop this, just get right on that bridge. And if I save that, you should see the cropped image below. And now that I've shown you the upgrades to portfolio editing, I'll be logging out of my student account. And I'll be logging in as an assessor so that I can show you the enhancements that have been made to assessments. And now using the main menu on the left once again, I can use the Assess Quick Link to quickly get to the pending assessment screen. Selecting the assessment, I will then just select Assess. And what you may first notice is the Autosave Ready tab is currently saying Ready. And so this means that it is ready for us to make any changes to the assessment. You should see once I make a change and score a criteria, the changes have been saved. And if I were to leave the page or get disrupted by an internet connection issue, then these changes would be saved in the system. And so now I'm actually just going to go ahead and score this rubric. And then I will actually be requesting a resubmission. And I will be making that resubmission optional. And I just have to enter an overall comment. Okay, and then I can request the resubmission from our student. And now I'll be logging out of my assessor account and back into my student. And to navigate to the resubmission request, I can first show you through the student's coursework. So I'll be going back into my portfolio, and you may notice this exclamation icon next to the submission that I had made, which means there is a resubmission request on that particular assignment. The student would then be able to just select this menu underneath resubmission requested, and this will give them the option to either update and resubmit or to decline the resubmission request entirely. As another way for students to get to that resubmission request, they can simply get to it through their dashboard where they will see an alert such as this. They would then just select the Assessment Details button here. And this will also give them the option to update their work and resubmit, or to decline the request. And now if I were to decline the request here, I understand decline request, you'll see that the grade that I was given for the previous assessment has now been made my final score. This concludes our webinar on the enhancements to the main menu, portfolio editing, and assessment. Please note that we will be posting the recorded version of this webinar on our support documentation site later today if you would like to watch this version or use it as a resource. If you have any questions, please type them into the questions window of the GoToWebinar control panel, and I will do my best to answer them now. So I'm just going to wait a little bit here to see if any questions come in. All right, well, it doesn't appear that we have any questions coming in. So I'll be now ending the webinar. If you do have any questions that arise after the webinar, please feel free to contact our support desk by emailing cwsupport@chalkandwire.com, using the request support option in your main menu, or by calling 1-866-949-6800 and then extension 1. Thank you everyone for attending, and have a wonderful day.